From Lake Stevens Community Park in Lake Stevens, Washington, this is the 2023 USAFL Western Regional Championships presented by Tasmanian and by Snohomish County Sports. My name is Brian Barish. This is the final game of the women's round robin. The Golden Gate Iron Maidens at 1-0 against the 1-0 Seattle Grizzlies. The winner goes home with the Western Regional Championship. The loser goes home, period. And that's it. Well, they're both going to go home. The question is whether or not they'll have a trophy. The other games in this round, both of these teams playing the Sacramento Suns, combined with a couple of other teams in the process. The Maidens defeated them 32-17, while the Grizzlies won 27-16. So what that means, the winner of this game is the winner of the division. The Maidens have a slight advantage in percentage, so a draw would favor them if that happens. The Maidens, by the way, of course, we said the Golden Gate Iron Maidens. They changed their name just a couple of weeks ago officially. They, of course, are the women's counterpart to the Golden Gate Roos and part of the Golden Gate AFL. And it should also be mentioned that there are a number of players on the Maidens playing from the Portland Sockeyes team as well. The Grizzlies have members of the members of the Orange County Giants and the Wasatch Wargoals on this side with them. We are just about set to go. The umpire, Di Filand, who has umpired somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500 games back in Australia. I'm not making that up. She's been around a long, long time, and she is one of the best. She is over from Melbourne to help call the match alongside Dave Bryant, a.k.a. DB, out of Houston, Texas, by way of somewhere in Geelong. We are waiting for the timers and scorers to be in place. The Iron Maidens wearing the silver and blue jumpers with the orange trim, while the Grizzlies are in the black and green. The Grizzlies are heading from right to left on your device of watching choice. Katja Hewitt, who was in the ruck in the earlier game, will be in the ruck here for the Grizzlies. And for the Iron Maidens, it appears that, well, that's a good question. We'll see who's in the ruck. I can't see who that is, but we're just about set. And again, we're waiting. And the Iron Maidens, of course, a 6-time Women's Division I national champions, and they are currently running. They're going to be going for 7 this October in Bradenton, Sarasota, Florida. These two teams met for the grand final of the Nationals in 2018 and 2019. After the Grizzlies joined us, after the Grizzlies made it to the grand final or took the season off because of numbers, or rather played as part of a combo team. They are back. Once again, we are waiting for, and as we are waiting, and as we are doing all this other stuff, we would like to welcome in the co-commentary position for doing special comments from the Sacramento Suns, Mackenzie Adamo and Mac. These are two teams that know each other very well. San Francisco has never beaten Seattle here in Seattle, so you have to think the Grizzlies, after playing well in this first game, I think they think they might be able to jump up and get them here.
Absolutely. I think all teams were very evenly matched on paper, so excited to see what happens.
Very much so, and as in your Suns side played very well in both of those matches, very competitive. We are underway, and here come the Grizzlies and the Iron Maidens. The Maidens trying to stay with the footy that's it's Marion Dickinson with the footy, and then we've got Hunley, who is in there, and she had a lot of touches in that first game earlier, and she has a free kick out to the near side looking for Amelia Carr. It's going to drop in front of her. She stays with it, and now out the other way. Here's Jess Blecker from San Jose, played for Portland not too long ago, started with Portland before coming over to the Iron Maidens. So it'll be a free kick on the way, or a ball up in the middle of the ground, and that one is sent forward. So it's the Grizzlies who have the first chance forward. Running back is Sun, who can't get to it. Staying with it there is is Vanessa Garman for Sacramento. It's worth mentioning, we mentioned Portland. Some members of the Wasatch Wargulls and Orange County Giants are on this team as well, Mac, and that's a handful of really good players from both teams.
Absolutely. Filling in those gaps where they need them.
Going to be a free kick. This is April Munn who sends this one on the way. It's drifting right, pops in the middle of the ground, and able to clear that one out is Katie Klatt. Goes through the hands of Meg Leone, who's in there. Here is Munn, who can't get the footy, looking for Yoon. Yoon, one of the Orange County Giants players, and the ball is on the ground, picked up and cycling around. Here come the Maidens back the other way, out to the near side. And a good shepherd put in for that's for Curtis, and it's going to be called as holding the ball. It'll be a free kick to the Maidens. How did the two teams, as playing against them, how did the two team style compare in the games that you played against them today, Mac?
Oh man, it was a lot of good footy. These were very long games, playing 4x15s, getting that game time in. So it was tough. It was tough. They're fast. The Maidens, they're a lot of veterans. They're really good at playing together. They're fast, but as long as you can get in their way, stop them a little bit.
And that's the sort of thing is that you think, all right, this is going to be the year that somebody's going to jump up and get them. And they haven't over the last couple of years. They always seem to bring their A game. It doesn't matter what the time marches on. They always seem to be playing extraordinarily well. Ball is kept in play by the Maidens. That could have been a throw. It wasn't. And then I thought I saw the ball, but it was a bug or a fly or something going that way. It was the shadow. We'll have a ball up on the other side. So we're going to have a ball up. Umpire Dave Bryant pulling everybody away from the sideline. Katya Hewitt playing well in the ruck, and then clears that one out away, and that would have swatted through by Munn. Munn stayed with the footy, and now it's going to be Meg Leone who's going to clear that one away, but in the hands of Amelia Carr. How good is Amelia Carr? She has you see her across the back half line. We'll talk about her in a second, as that one is a ricochets off the defense, but here come the Maidens the other way. 2-on-2 contest. Again, goes marked by Estrada Finley. She dances from one defender, dances away from a second, but turns it over and does so to Alyssa Fermenton. Talk about Amelia Carr. I really love the way she's a defensive player, but she always has her ears up and ready to go forward.
She reads the field really well.
Out to the near side now, and here it is again, and this is Latia Holmes who takes the mark. I think Latia is kind of underrated. I feel like she flies under the radar, but I think she's as good and she's as important as Amelia is.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to see the up-and-comers.
Yeah, I mean, she's been around, and she really has been for some time. As the ball goes in, big crash there, and I think that may have been friendly fire as Blecker collided with I believe that was Nicole McKenzie.
Yep.
They're both slow to get up, and Yoon, I think, narrowly missed being a part of that, and it will be a free kick going to Maddie Hunley. I think Hunley's relatively new. I hadn't really noticed her that much. She had, I think, probably about a dozen or so disposals in the earlier game against the Suns. And the ball goes to ground now, and there is Elise Leone, who, of course, she and Meg got married not too long ago, so congratulations to the two of them. And, of course, formerly Elise Gallagher. Ball goes back in the air. Elise, great to see her come back stay with it as well. She's won a number of medals at the nationals level. That one drops in front. Seattle here still having the sway of play, but here is Blecker who gets it out to the far side. Getting away there is that's Lauren Williams, one of the Portland players. And we'll have a free kick or it will be a ball. No, it will be a free kick, and it will go the way of Carr. And this isn't completely out of her range either.
Nope. Let's see what they can put together.
Carr comes forward, right-footed kick, going right, marked.
Meg. Way to go, Meg.
Meg, from the first time we saw her play in New York, when they came across, from the first time we saw her play, she's always had a natural instinct for the game, and that's never let up.
Yep. Especially
at the national level too. It's that background as a volleyball player as well. She has that awareness and the skills have translated over so well.
Yep, and get the hands up over the other player.
5.5 minutes gone. First rather 5:50 gone in this first of four 15-minute quarters. As Mac mentioned, the games are longer, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. As the ball is up on the far side now, it's higher up in the air, and that one, good job by Holmes to come over the back. Blecker tries to shepherd her opponent off the ball and did, which allowed her to get the footy momentarily, and we'll have a ball up directly across from us. How did you find the 60-minute, 60-minute games versus the 40-minute games?
You know, it was interesting because all the teams have such deep benches. We have a lot of subs, so we were really good about rotating, making sure everyone got game time, running as hard as you can, and subbing yourself off. But it was still a lot of footy. Yeah,
and it definitely does help, as this is going to be a free kick going to the Grizzlies. I think it is a little bit cooler than it was a couple of weeks ago. We saw a couple of the teams struggle. Of course, there were a lot shorter benches in Kansas City a couple of weeks ago. But it is good to see. It seems like both the teams seem to be coping with it. This is Leone, who goes out to the left side. Meg Leone, who finds a friendly face. I believe that might be Alva Doherty. As she goes up on the far side, drops in front. There's Mackenzie, a Ruse medal winner. She'll kick that one inside. Looking at a one-on-one contest. That's Val Barber-Axthelm going up against Jess Estrada Finley. Two moms. Goes into the middle of the ground looking for Carr. And now they send it back. That is Elise Leone, and it's marked coming across by Curtis, who's really stepped up. I think Curtis might be an Aussie, which is something we've seen this on a couple of teams. Seattle, New York has a fair bit of Aussies. San Francisco has a couple here and there, but it's rare to see a team with a lot of Australians, and they have a couple here with Corey Howe, I believe Marion Dickinson, Rachel Sun is in there as well. Katja Hewitt, who is from Great Britain, I believe. But it's interesting to see a women's team that doesn't have a lot of that has a fair bit of non-nationals on it, we'll say.
Yeah, I feel like that's expanding across the league, actually. Except for the Suns, we have one Aussie.
Yeah.
Homegrown.
Yeah. Which is good to see as well.
Absolutely.
That one pops out, and that one is smothered off the foot of 51 in there, who I don't have. That might be Jackie White. I'm not sure. We'll double check that, but it'll be a free kick. The other player that we have on here is Heather Serpico, who now plays for the Austin Crows, as Formenton just threw that onto the boot, and it didn't even go 15, as Carr took the catch, but it wasn't paid as a mark, nor should it have been. Here is Meg Leone, who bootlegs around, ski jumps one onto her left foot, and nice mark by Carr. This is a very even game so far, which is really good to see, and we'll get to that in a second. I think a lot of us saw this. As deep as Seattle was, you knew this wasn't going to be a cakewalk for the Iron Maidens.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we put up a good fight too.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of back and forth, a lot of ping pong.
Yeah. And I think the score. I think the scores. I think do tell the story. I don't think you guys certainly didn't get humbled in any of those games. And we of course called the game here against Seattle this morning, and that was a very, very tightly contested contest. And it really shows the skill of the women's game, as that one is dropped by Hunley. And out of all of that, it's going to be a free kick for the aforementioned Maddie Hunley. Hunley looking for an option. Instead, it finds one. This is Curtis, who goes down the middle of the ground and
right to April Lewis. Great mark. Great
to see her, and she's going to be playing on the national team this summer, finally getting her chance. And as somebody who had a kind of an up and down trip in Australia a couple of years ago, handballs over the top. Here is Mon off of one step. Marked by Katie Klatt. Always lurking in the back, Katie Klatt. Former Sacramento Sun, former teammate of yours. That's only a slightly maniacal laugh from
just a tidbit.
From Mackenzie Adamo from the Sacramento Suns, alongside me, Brian Barish. This deciding match of the women's division here at the Western Regional Championships. Carr with a nice mark. Oh, goodness.
The forward line now.
Yep. And that's the thing. You see her across the defense, but now here she is playing up on the forward line. She's told to play on. Off of one step. Who's in the goal square? Katie Klatt. We're parents of toddlers. We have that.
Baby shark in our head.
Yes. Klatt from Burke, Virginia.
Marked by Carr. She's playing on.
Here's Amelia Carr for goal. It's marked. There was a whistle, and I'm wondering if this is going to get paid downfield. It is. Carr was taken out the play, and I believe, well, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be paid downfield, and I think it's going to get paid, I believe, to the nearest player. So it looked like it's going to be Amanda Bowe who was cleared out, and if she can kick it straight, the Grizzlies are going to have the lead, and they do. And the Seattle Grizzlies draw first blood. On the Watch AFL scoreboard through Amanda Bowe, Seattle 1 straight 6, Golden Gate no score. And I'd say that's a little bit of a surprise, but Seattle's been controlling the play, I would say, about 90% of the time, Mac.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, and let's not kid ourselves. Seattle is a good team. This isn't two completely mismatched sides.
Nope.
It's owing to the fact that, listen, San Francisco had their number at Nationals last year, but this Seattle team is loaded.
Yeah. They have a lot of new rookies, a lot of new recruits last minute, so it's good to see that as well. Still
plenty of time, though, as we still have just 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. So, and also, I will say, I do believe that the Grizzlies have the wind, which is blowing to the lake end. Of course, we say the lake, and the lake's probably about 3 miles over there. Ball goes back in the air once again, and it's dropped as Munn is able to get to it, finds Hewitt. Hewitt chips the ball forward, knocked down. Again, Munn inserting herself into the contest. There is one of the Maidens who had it, and then the mark is taken over the top by Kat Curtis. Curtis goes to the far side. This is something, this is for men with the ball. This is something you don't see a lot against the Iron Maidens. A lot of uncontested short marks. They turn the ball over there, but it's interesting to see and great to see Seattle controlling the play in the same way that the Iron Maidens do during their performances.
Yep, they are finding their players and getting it right to their hands.
Maidens will get the ball out of the back line now, sending that one forward. And the ball goes up forward, and trying to go after the footy, going ahead and picking that one up was Elise Leone, and that's going to be a free kick. And it will go the way of Amelia Carr. 90 seconds to go, opening term. Ball gets sent down the line once again, but Klatt is there. She's able to clear it out for now. Hewitt and Anderson is there. Anderson ran into her own player, cleared out by the Maidens, drops in front, kicked back the other way. Curtis on Martin, and Kaylee Martin, who normally is up in the forward line, picked up on a hop by Lily Hamilton, who sends this one in, and this one will drop through. Maidens, their first real serious testing of the defense here, and Curtis hugs Mackenzie and throws her to the ground, and umpire Di Filand hugs herself and says, "I'm awesome, but let's ball it up for the time being." And it's great to see Di. Di's come across, as we mentioned at the top, Di's come across from Melbourne for other reasons, but also to be a part of this. She is a legend in umpiring, almost 1,500 games. In fact, I think might be more than 1,500 games at this point.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's trained a lot of people as well, so it's fun to have her here.
Yep, and a good person.
Yeah,
which is slightly more important at the very least. And she, the aforementioned Di Filand, has awarded a free kick, and it goes the way of Williams. Not much time left. 6-0 Seattle. Sending this one in. I heard a toot over the back. Hamilton. And that's it. That shouldn't count. That shouldn't count. And that will do it. There's another toot. They need a more
a little aggressive on those toots.
They
guys.
need to be a anyway, halftime.
We're parents of toddlers. Remember?
Yes. We know all about the toots. Quarter time. In the Western final game of the women's division, Western Regional, Seattle Grizzlies 1 straight 6. Golden Gate. It's going to take a while to get used to that. No score. Seattle playing better. I think they've had it, but it'll be interesting to see once they switch sides how Golden Gate uses the wind.
Yeah. I think you're kind of looking into the sun one way, too. It's a bit higher in the sky now, but...
Yeah, indeed. Well, we're going to step aside and come right back with the second quarter of this one. You're watching the 2023 USAFL Western Regional Championships here on USAFL.com. Second quarter of this matchup, the final round of the women's division here at the USAFL Western Regional Championships, as the Seattle Grizzlies lead the Golden Gate Iron Maidens 6-0. Brian Barish alongside Mackenzie Adamo of the Sacramento Suns, and a member of the U.S. national team alumni. And we are underway here in the second, and I'm going to make this correction right off the top here. I've been calling 46 for Seattle as Kat Curtis. That is, in fact, Rachel Blum, who is in her third full season with the Seattle Grizzlies, or perhaps their fourth. But my apologies, Rachel. We have that fixed on the scorecard, and we are all set to go. And the Iron Maidens now should be kicking to the left of screen as the ball gets sent in, and now back the other way. Here is a kick up in the middle of the ground, as here is April Munn, who turns the ball over. Now here is Katie Klatt, who is snuck up from the back line into the half-back line. Bounces by Hamilton, knocking the ball up in the air, but right to Jess Estrada Finley. But she sends that one behind the stick. And it's gone through for Golden Gate's first score of the game on the Watch AFL scoreboard. It's 6-1, and now all of a sudden they've realized they've entered the chat.
Stepping up their game. That was a really good passage of play, really quick to get it all the way across the field. So let's see what they can do.
Pretty fluid, too. And that's something that we're starting to see more of, not just here, but across the board in the women's game, which is great to see, of course. Out to the near side. And punched free. But a good job of crumbing out the back. Here is, and they'll go through. Now after it is Bo watching Castillo, who just got in the way. Leone found Serpico, and the mark is taken defensively. Heather Serpico, we started to say, now playing for the Austin Crows, but a longtime member of the Portland Sockeyes, in fact, is the reason that the Sockeyes have gotten to where they are right now. And Mac, that's great to see, considering that for the longest time, Portland was essentially a handful of players, and now they're still, they've brought 8 or 9 players, but still they are where they are because of her.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great that she can do that from afar and still be part of that team, and glad we were able to pair them up so they could play together today.
Lauren Dawes right in front of us looking for Hannah Miller and not finding her, so it's a boundary right in front of our man Wilson from Element 7. Ball goes to ground, and here, of course, we have him, and we also have Declan over on field 2, providing the pictures from the other field that would capture the opening game for Golden Gate. Miller against Hewitt, who's done a fantastic job. Anderson lost the footy. And this is Alva Doherty, who goes up on the far side, one of the Irish contingent. Going to pick that one up again is Dawes. And it'll be a free kick to the Aussie in Lauren Dawes. There's a pretty significant Gaelic connection on this San Francisco team. A lot of them, on this Golden Gate team, a lot of them play Gaelic football as well. And, Mac, you see the payoff of that in that they're able to get some useful players out of it.
Absolutely. Well, and playing together in multiple sports, you learn each other skill sets, and you're ready to go.
It's Allison Grunsky, number 27, one of the new players for the Portland Sockeyes there for the Maidens, and there is Klatt. You get the feeling that they're not going to get too much more by Katie Klatt today. Like, they got that one, and that was a free kick award. That was a earned goal, but you have the feeling that they're going to need to earn even more opportunities past her today.
Absolutely, switched on.
Still a long time to go. It's 6-1. Seattle the lead on the Watch AFL scoreboard. All these years that Seattle has played, and you go back to really the formation of the of their team in a full sense in 2018. They've played each other at nationals every year that the Grizzlies have sent a full side. So since 2018, and the Grizzlies have only defeated the Iron Maidens once, and that was here in Seattle during the I think it was called the Emerald City Showdown.
You have like a textbook memory. Brian Barish, this guy, he remembers everything about everyone. I love it.
Yeah, the problem is that I forget to do the important things like take out the trash. Ball goes in the play. I was going to say, talk to my wife about how good my memory is. As the ball goes to ground up on the far side, a little chip kick over the top, and it will be out of bounds. It'll be we'll do another boundary throw in. Ball goes up. And Hamilton able to clear that one out as Seattle, but only as far as Nicole McKenzie, who's got a deadly right foot, and doing. Is that Robbie?
Right into the no. Who is that back there?
I don't know. You want my binoculars?
It's Tim.
Tim Peterson.
Tim Peterson, who just got Falcon right in the schnoz.
He stopped that behind.
Yes.
Like nobody's business.
I know he's like a Viking. He's like Ralph Wiggum. Martin from The Simpsons. Oh boy, sleep. That's where I'm a Viking. Meanwhile, on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's 6-2, and the Maidens just chipping away at the lead. But you have the feel. You get the. I'm starting to sound like Bruce McAvaney. You get the feeling if they don't you think that all they need to do is get is one of them, and I think it's going to completely change the momentum. But as you can see, the Maidens and the breeze has kind of slowed down a little bit, but they've had the momentum of this kicking towards the left side of us because of that breeze.
Yeah, Seattle's putting up a good defensive line. They're stopping them and making them get those behinds rather than converting to goals.
Out the back now comes Kelly Caskey. I was going to check on that as well as Caskey. Now here is Madsen. Caskey able to get that one up the far side. And Sun, great job of harrying. There's Rachel Blum. Blum bounces off one defender and sends that one long. Dropped by Eileen Yoon, and she has to go back. Martin is on her tail and tackles her, and the question is, yes, that was a legal tackle. Very good tackle by Kaylee Martin. And that's one of their recruits over the last couple of years, Mac, and it's great to see as well, playing up in the forward line, but now she's getting to play in the middle of the ground. Yeah.
She's got great hands. She's usually really excellent at taking marks. So it's exciting to kind of see her in a new position.
I'm interested as well. I mean, they're taking one of the options. They had a couple of chances, especially the game we called in the grand final against Minnesota last year. It'll be interesting to see them, I guess, utilize that more in the middle of the ground as opposed to having that target in the forward line.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how it pans out as we have another whistle, and umpire Di Filand says we're going to ball that up. Brian Barish alongside Mackenzie Adamo from the Sacramento Suns. Glad to have your company here as well. Also should mention the Western Regional Vice President of the USAFL and doing a damn good job, as she always does.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You don't even have to pay me for that compliment. That one's first one's free. Here is Katie Klatt, who sends that one long, and that's a nice defensive mark by guess who, Amelia Carr. Having not seen the Iron Maidens, that's a good mark by Bowe. Here's Amanda Bowe, former goalkeeper from Washington University, finds Formenton. Formenton has a bounce, puts the ball down a second time. Now goes with a banana on the outside of the boot, bounces up. Who's going to get it? Clearing it out of the back. There's Klatt, who's best. There is Munn. Shakes away nicely from Eileen Yoon, but she's going to turn it over to Bowe, who took the mark.
This is not out of Bowe's range. Let's see if she can get it in there.
It isn't. The wind is going to be in her face, though, and I think that if you're the Grizzlies, you got to scramble the Jets here. Formenton going forward as an option. Here is Bowe. Stretches herself out in that trademark style. Helicopter ball going to fall in short off the chest of Munn. Going to be picked up by Mackenzie out the back. Pitchfork handball over. This is Doherty, who's able to get it away up the far side, and the Maidens needed that, but they're going to have it sent right back at them. Carr chips that one up over the top, looking for Munn, who takes the mark. Not out of April's range either.
Nope.
Well, I think we had seen this in the game against the Suns earlier. I think it's just a matter of getting the drop. She is giving herself a lot of room with Kaylee Martin on the mark. Again, she gets under it just a little bit. Ball gets fought down. It's McKenzie who's going to win the race to it. Try to get it to Doherty. Going to be picked up by Sun, I believe, and the ball is cryogenically frozen in there just like Walt Disney's head, and we'll have a ball up about 30 meters out. Rucks nominate Katja Hewitt, who's done a fantastic job in the ruck. She slaps it forward against Alice Houston, one of the Aussies for Golden Gate, and the Maidens are going to get a free kick out of this for incorrect disposal.
Yep. They just gave him a penalty, too, because she didn't hand it back to the player.
Yep, that is a 25-meter penalty.
Those are easy to avoid.
They are very easy to avoid, and it's a shame because, you know, they could have kept the pressure on, and instead now they get the mark through Jess Blecker, former Collingwood VFL Magpie player. Out to the near side, digging in after it is Meg Leone. She's going to get a shepherd from, that's not McKenzie, that's Serpico, who goes out into the middle of the ground. Here now going to get it is Elise Leone. She picks up the footy. She's spun right round like a record by Rachel Odell, and now they're going to have to go back to go forward. There is Doherty going out to the far side now. Blecker, but a nice mark taken over the top by Kasich, or rather by Kasky, sorry. Old habits die hard. Kasky sends that one forward. Sun. Little bit of friendly fire as Osagara, the South Jersey native, turned the ball over. Here is Doherty. And the Irish woman sends that one forward. Off of hands. There's Estrada Finley. Sends that one all the way back. Cleared out by the Suns. Ball goes down. Here's Kaylee Seacrest, one of the Wasatch players. Maidens knocking on heaven's door. Seacrest, or rather, that was Laurel Fink who picked that one up. But it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go the way of the Maidens, and they have a chance to either cut into the lead or take the lead on their own. Could be a huge turning point in the game.
Not out of range.
Not out of range, and a pretty relatively consistent, accurate kicker in Jess Estrada Finley. Strides forward. The kick is up on the way. It is there.
It's in.
3 Grizzlies got high to try and get a finger or something on that footy, and none of them succeeded. And the Golden Gate Iron Maidens, for the first time in this match, have the lead, and it comes 12 minutes and 45 seconds into the second quarter. Golden Gate 1-2-8, Seattle 1 straight 6, and you knew it was coming, but you also, if you're Seattle, you feel like there was a chance or two missing there, but the Iron Maidens do what they did, and that is a strike and now they have the lead.
We'll see if they can run with this the last couple of minutes of this quarter, get a little more momentum.
Less than 2 minutes to go. Swatted down by Katja Hewitt. Picking that one up and now sending that one forward. Can they get one before the bell here? This is Sun. Had to scoop it away. She just got it to her hand to get away from Klatt in front of Osagara. And we'll have a boundary throw it. It will occur 30 meters around. Seattle running out of time in this half. They have the opportunity. It is going to be a free kick. Oh, it's right into the mark. Here is Carr going across to Anderson. Anderson has some room. Plays it out in front to Blum. Blum, oh, what a great move. Makes 1-2 players miss. Sends that one in for goal. Oh, and it just bounces. It was tipped, and then it hit so it's 1 point either way because it was tipped, but then it also hit the goalpost. 1 point for Seattle. It's 8-7 now with less than a minute to go. How good has this game been?
It is a close match. It's exciting.
Plenty of time left. Out to the near side and off the hands there. As you can see, Dickinson sneaking up. Now 2-on-1. They need some help. And Castillo may have held Dickinson off the ball. Bo is there. Castillo is there. And she holds things up, and we'll have a ball up. 30 seconds to go. Maybe one last chance here in this first half for the Grizz. If I'm the Grizzlies, if I would start sneaking more players up, and if the Iron Maidens beat you, they beat you. But I don't think they're going to get a play in 15 seconds. I think you throw more players at the ball here. That was Blum with a big hit out. Now here is Hewitt, who looking for a mark and not finding one. And Klatt's going to come out of the back. They're going to run out of time, and there it is. Halftime at the football, and a very, very entertaining first 30 minutes in this final game of the round-robin portion here at the Western Regionals, the USAFL for 2023. It's the Golden Gate Iron Maidens, 1 goal, 2 behinds, 8 points. The Seattle Grizzlies, 1-1-7. It has been a long, long time since I have seen a game this evenly matched between the Iron Maidens and somebody else, and it is great to see Seattle really taking it to them. But I think Golden Gate's been just a little bit cleaner, and that's been the 1 point difference.
Yeah, for that quarter, absolutely.
So what do you think? So in terms of like Seattle, what do they need to do, and what do you think they should do to adjust here?
Seattle is playing really well, to be honest. They got it up there. They're not quite making their marks in the forward line. I think that's where they kind of need to step it up, but moving the ball across the field and getting it up to their forward line, they're doing a great job. They're putting on the pressure against the Maidens, which is really screwing with their game, I think. Maidens aren't quite used to that, so
not at all.
Keep it up, ladies. We'll
see what happens. We're going to step aside, come right back with the second half. Don't go anywhere. This one's going to be a barn burner. You're watching the 2023 USAFL Western Regional Championships here on USAFL.com. Third quarter of this final game of the women's division here at the 2023 USAFL Western Regional Championships. It's the Golden Gate Iron Maidens leading the Seattle Grizzlies 8-7. Brian Barish alongside Mackenzie Adamo in the third quarter is underway with the Grizzlies now kicking to the left side of screen. We'll see how much they get from the wind and whether the Iron Maidens can see it out as Kaylee Martin sends that one in. A nice mark taken by Alva Doherty. Doherty going back, sending this one down, looking for Holmes. Estrada Finley is there. Handball over. That looks like Lauren Skonechny it is. It's the first time seeing her out there today, and getting away now, and now there's a takedown of a half Nelson of some sort. We'll have a ball up as Hewitt took down Meglione. That is Schnitz, right? Yeah, that is Schnitz. Great to see her playing as well. I know she'd played the last couple of seasons, but I physically haven't seen her play since the 2019 regional. Well, so she was playing last year, but I didn't get to call any of her games.
Yeah.
And another very important figure in USAFL, this is Rachel Blum. Oh, drop what she should have taken was Marion Dickinson, and once again, the umpire paying the mark before there's a great spoil by Nicole McKenzie, and picked up and running around there is Williams. And Williams, one of the Sockeyes, sending that one in forward. Kick that one away. Going to be picked up by Jess Blecker, who can't handle it cleanly. And now coming in to help, and a big tackle in there. Did she have prior disposal? No, she didn't. Rather, prior opportunity, no. As Caskey did a good job of getting in there and at least affecting the play. It'll be a ball up. Knocked forward. Caskey was held off the footy. Holmes finds Yoon, who gets that's Hada. There's Yoon, who almost had to take that mark in self-defense. Two Orange County players playing alongside each other. Klatt, who's every quarter she's moving up a little bit further, and I feel like she's going to end up in the forward line by the end of the game, as this is Grunsky who sends that one forward for the Maidens, and then picking that one up and now shipping to the inside. Handball back to Hewitt, who sees that go off the side of her boot. Going to be picked up by Kaylee Martin. Martin sends that one down the line, going up, and a good job to spoil back by Hada. Long handball back. This is Williams, who drops the pill. Going to be picked up. Trying to get rid of it is one of the players in there, and one of the Grizzlies in there. Maybe Anderson. In fact, it is. And we'll have a ball up.
Nobody missed. Everyone missed that one.
Yeah, everybody did.
Looking the other way, I guess.
Yes. Going to be send that one. And that one is tipped off the top once again. And there is Munn and her trademark green ribbon, sending that one long over the top. Good contests all over the field. That, I believe, was Elise Leone, who sends that one long over to get it and picking that one up. And now moving forward with it is Odell. Odell couldn't get to it. Picked up by Blecker. This is dangerous. And there is Jess Blecker, who went across the face. It's through for a behind. Oh, that was almost an absolute doozy of a goal by Blecker. You can't let her have those opportunities. Golden Gate 1-3-9, back to a 2-point lead. Seattle 1-1-7. Well, a player of her experience, Mac, you almost have to like wear her like a coat almost.
Yeah, you got to mark up on these girls. They know what they're doing out there. They're good at making those leads and confusing the defense.
And there's an interception.
Let's see if she can sink this one in.
Yep. So it's going to be about a 45-degree angle. We're right behind her here. We can kind of see what she has. And that is Munn on the mark. There's Blecker. I believe that is. No, it isn't. Never mind. Sending that one off to the right side. And that will be tapped through. In fact, no, it was, I'm sorry, it was Kasky who is wearing, who has a green headband on as well, a green ribbon on as well. But not a bad result for the Maidens.
Keeping it in.
Yep. Got to hem it in. And there's Hewitt, who crosses the field. Probably should have gone down the line there. There is Griffin going after one of the Maidens there. And now here is Dickinson. There's Hada trying to keep the ball in play out on the far side. And the ball has gone out. We'll have a boundary throw-in. The Orange County women, did you play with them in 2021?
When we were in Texas, I did.
Yes.
Combo with them, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Good core group of players between Hada, Eileen Yoon, and Delfina Delgadillo as well.
Yeah. And they're solid in the defense, and then you have Eileen, who's very versatile, but you typically see her in the forward or mid.
She'll be playing in the national team next month. Here's Meg Leone. Leone, this is in her range. It's going to drop in short. Oh, but this is dangerous, and Sawyer's able to get it out of there. Great job by Lizzie Sawyer. We'll talk about her in just a moment. Going to be picked up by Serpico. Heather Serpico. Marked.
Jess Estrada. Right in front of goal, basically.
Right in front of goal. Now, it's going to be a little bit of an angle. But this should not be an issue for the long time, but one of the founders of this Iron Maidens team. Finley strives forward, and that's going to go off to the left. Kept in play. Very interesting. They didn't concede the behind as Holmes is able to get to it. Did that stay in play? Yes, it did. And play on they go. Up the far side now. Here's Amanda Bowe. Bowe was held. Play on, says the umpire. Here they're going to send that back from whence it came. Now going to be picked up, turning and looking and handballing it back to Meg Leone. Leone, and that one will be cleared out by the Grizzlies. They're not out of danger just yet. And this is Formenton, who sends that one up the far side, sending that one down the line. It's going to roll. It's a high bounce. There's April Munn trying to knock the ball forward. Bowe is in there. She's taken down backwards by Hannah Miller. And the ball goes, and we'll have a ball up on that far side. Seattle doing a great job. That could have been very dangerous. And even, you know what? When you're up by, I know it's 2 points, but they got away with it, but you would tend to think you instruct players concede the behind there because, a goal puts you in the lead still.
Very true, very true. But they were able to clear it and move it along, and we're about at the 50 mark, so let's see what happens.
Let's talk about Lizzie Sawyer for a moment. You played on the Liberty in 2017 when she was the captain.
Yeah.
And she's a very good player. She's a strong defender. What I really love her is her leadership skills. She's
absolutely
a natural-born leader, and that was on full display. Just being around the team and seeing her very positive, very upbeat, and that's what she brings as president and captain of the Wasatch War Goals side.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a great advocate for all players, so it's great to have her out.
Very much so, and hopefully in the next coming years we'll get a chance to have one of these tournaments out in Utah, based in the Salt Lake City area. But we'll have to see what happens. Well, we'll love that. I've never been there. It'd be really cool.
It would be gorgeous.
Here comes the Grizzlies for now, but there is Serpico who's going to go forward. There's Klatt. Klatt bootlegs around. Was a big booming kick, and Carr is able to spoil it. They're not out of jail yet. Here's Estrada Finley and turning around and 101. Oh, shoved out of the way, and by great job by Lizzie. And let's see what happens here.
Ooh, I think they call it a push in the back.
Push in the back,
as
yeah.
it was. Oh, hard to give those up right in front of the goal.
Very much so, and that was Jackie White. Number 66, who was going after the footy. Another Portland player. She's going to have the kick. White's played a couple of seasons here. She's going to handball it off to Elise Leone, who sends up one across. She probably should have gone back and at least had a kick, but didn't have the confidence enough, and then she's going to get that one away. High up in the air, over the top. Nice mark by Klatt. And again, there she is on the offensive side of the field. She's going to run on. She's 50 meters out. She's going to send this one into the top of the 50, but that one is cleared out, and once again by the Grizzlies, who are playing so well on the defensive side, and that's what's keeping them in the game. Here is Bo against McKenzie now. McKenzie stays with the footy. Couldn't get that one free. Now goes handballs it back to Martin. Martin goes all the way back. They swing it around the chain of fools looking for Doherty. Big tackle. Oh, my goodness gracious, and she is slow to get up. I didn't see who that was. And we'll check the call here. It is going to be a ball. She had no prior opportunity. Oh, that was a big tackle. That is the type of tackle that when you get hit, your ancestors feel it.
I had one of those today. I don't even know who hit me, but it was Seattle, and it was a good one.
Did you get the license number of that truck? Oh, good job by Hunley, who's in there, and we'll have a ball up. Watch AFL scoreboard. It is 9-7, still a 2-point lead to the Golden Gate Iron Maidens. Brian Barish alongside Mackenzie Adamo from the Sacramento Suns, a member of the USA national team alumni, and that is marked defensively by one of the Maidens. I didn't catch the number coming around, but she has the ball, standing in the shadow of her own goals. Told to play on. Now does. Goes up the far side now, and it's picked off by Marion Dickinson. And now they need a goal here. They got to get their noses in front, and the mark is taken by April Munn. I think she's 2 kicks from goal, Mac.
Yeah, I think if they can have one little good lead, we see Amelia Carr running in there.
Amanda Bowe as well, and instead they turn it over to Blacker. There's another player who, again, we just saw her in the forward line. Almost, we saw her score, but there she is in the back line now. Now here's the other way. Here's Hewitt over the top. Here's Katja Hewitt. Hewitt into the middle. Everybody going after it. It's going to be picked up by Hunley. She's going to send that one across. Drops in front of Blecker. Turned it over to Carr. Carr across the body for the lead. No.
I think there was a call.
There was a call.
Dial it back. Roll back that footage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. They're not sponsoring us yet, so I can say that. And it looks like it's going to be a free. It looks like it's going to be a free kick coming out. So no score there. It's still a 2-point lead. Oh, down the middle. Oh, almost taking it. There's Anderson bumped off the footy. There is 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this third quarter. And here is Anderson, who dropped the pill. Ball cried the crowd. In your boots, says the umpire. And that sounds like something that Dave would say. And then here is Mackenzie. She just got the ball away. Running on to get it is Estrada Finley, who gets it away after Blum was harassing her out to the near side. There's Lizzie Sawyer, who is all the way up in the midfield. I don't know how that happened, but here is Latia Holmes, who drops it in front. Miller can't get it. It bounces away. She gets it off. Big crash in upper, but there's going to be a call on the contact. And it's going to be a free kick to the Maidens. Perhaps a little high. That was a rhetorical question. Out to the near side, looking for McKenzie. Drops in front of her, but Carr is there. McKenzie did a good job to get it away momentarily from her. Blecker throws herself at the footy. Anderson trying to extract it, and it looks like a rolling tumbleweed in the middle of Washington State. We'll have a ball up directly in front of Mackenzie Adamo and also our man Wilson on camera from Element 7. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go, third term. 9-7, Golden Gate the lead. My goodness, this is developing into an instant classic. Up the far side, Anderson. There is a good job by Williams to knock the ball free. Hundley had it go off of her leg. Here is Blecker who sends it long. And what a mark by Lily Hamilton.
Oh, play on.
Handballs over. Elise Gallagher running in, puts it on down, runs the 25, and goes bang. That is how quickly they can hurt you. Blecker to Hamilton to Elise Leone, and the Maidens extend their lead on the Watch AFL scoreboard. 2-3-15 Golden Gate, 1-1-7 Seattle. That is right out of the classic record books of Maidens. That is what they are capable of, and Seattle shows you one letdown, and they'll turn around and hurt you. That was pretty.
That was exciting.
That was. And you see the emotion by Lily Hamilton. This is her first season, I believe. You see the emotion there, the fist pump. My goodness. They are pumped. Well, this was an anthill. It's become a small foothill at the moment. And one more goal, you would think it's going to end up being like either Glacier Peak or Mount Rainier by the end of things. And here they come again. We have 45 seconds unofficially here in the third quarter. Still plenty of time, however, and, things are going to change once they switch field. But here is Amelia Carr. She's had such a great day. Let's see if she can get a goal out of this, if she can work a goal out of this. Off the hands of Griffin. Going to come out now as this one is high in the air. Again, Carr juggled and almost took the mark, but a good job by Estrada Finley, who is tackled from behind by Blum. Picked up by Meg Leone. Handballs it over to Williams. Williams drops it in front, picked off by Latia Holmes. Needs some help. Has some across the way, kicks that one up towards the far boundary. Dickinson chases it, and the ball goes out of bounds. And I think the clock's going to beat him at it is. 3-quarter time here in Lake Stevens, and the Golden Gate Iron Maidens lead by 8 points. My goodness, it was an arm wrestle for most of that third quarter, but they showed why they are the 6-time defending champions just with little bursts of play like that.
A little burst, but the game's not over yet. One whole quarter to convert.
I will come back to watch that fourth quarter when we return. You're watching the 2023 USAFL Western Regional Championships here on USAFL.com. Well, we have 15 more minutes to go in this final game of the Women's Division 2023 USAFL Western Regional Championships, brought to you by Tasmanian and by Snohomish County Sports. Brian Barish alongside Mackenzie Adamo. The fourth quarter with the Golden Gate Iron Maidens leading the Seattle Grizzlies 15-7, and 15 minutes separating one of these teams from a regional championship. The Iron Maidens won last year in Denver. They won the sub-regionals summer series in 2021. They won in 2019, so it's been 3 straight on the trot in the regional/sub-regional. And what will occur in the last 15 minutes? Well, that story is about to be written right now, and here comes Mackenzie, who finds a cutting Blecker, who sends that down. That might not have been Blecker, but it's too far back to fix it. Here is Holmes, who ran to it on a gallop, gives it over to Caskey. Caskey off the left foot sends this one down the line. Hewitt had it overcook her. Mackenzie kept the ball in play, sending this one back up on the far side now. Here is Hamilton. Hamilton sends that one in towards the pocket. It bounces away. It's still in play. There's Carr. Carr with the footy, and the umpire calls for a ball up on that far side. The intensity has stayed the same, and that's good to see. This is it. I mean, this is the last 15 minutes of the day. You gotta throw everything into it.
Gotta leave it all out there. See who's hungry. Who wants that footy?
Who wants that proverbial meat pie? We're as our friend Gorilla used to say. That's Susie Q. As the ball comes out now on the far side, as the Maidens trying to push. You figure one more goal might make this a bridge too far. Hamilton, who's played well in the forward line, picked it up. The flex back in the play. White is in there. One of the Sockeyes players. She sees that ball come loose. Here's Hamilton. Hamilton looking for an option, not finding one. It bobbles around, and finally the Maidens clear it, but out of bounds as they kicked it to a player wearing a Sacramento Suns jumper, which is all and good, but they're not playing. And Mac, who is a member of the Sacramento Suns, is like, well,
throw him in there.
Throw him in there. Why not? This is Elise Leone looking for her wife and finding her. Oh, it's a good mark with Blum breathing down her neck. She might be 2 kicks from goal, I think.
Yeah. Well, the wind's kind of blowing. I feel like it's blowing at us, so it's that'll slow him down a little bit.
And if that wind can blow at us a little bit more and kind of drop the temperature another couple of degrees, I would be very appreciative. Here's the kick on the way. It is falling short. It's off of hands, down low, and going to go. And we got a call in the square. It's going to be a free kick to the Grizzlies. Been a very well officiated game. All the games that we've seen today, I think, have been pretty well officiated. But I think both teams are about even, it seems like, in the free kick opportunities. So it's good because it seems like it's consistent in terms of how they're playing on both sides.
Absolutely. And umpiring is such a thankless, difficult job that most people don't volunteer for. So
yeah,
we appreciate them.
Yeah, I agree. Out to the near side, and the mark taken by Holmes. In front of McKenzie. Here is Holmes. She'll kick that one out into the middle of the ground. Marked. That's Blum. Rachel Blum, number 46.
Great lead.
Oh, great
smother.
Great smother by Alva Doherty. Doherty handballs it into the middle and off the side of the boot there. We'll catch who that is in a moment. I think that was, well, no, I didn't see the number, but it'll be a free kick. It'll be a mark, rather, and it will be... Well, trying to see who has the ball. Striding forward with it is Elise Leone. Leone's kick is off of hands, and out the back was Jackie White, but I think it was conceded for a behind. They're gonna have a conference here. Umpire Di Filand talking to the goal umpire, and it has gone through for a behind. Seattle is okay with that because, again, it's still the difference. They still need 2 straight kicks any way you slice it. But on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's 2-4-16 Golden Gate, 1-1-7 for Seattle. That's what we were saying before about intentionally conceding the behind. You still need a goal at the very least to make it closer.
Right. But they're not far.
Well, there is Doherty once again, and that check that. That was 64, which was Lauren Skonechny. How you can't... I was going to say, she and Claire Algazin aren't here for me to mix up the two of them, so, Out on the far side. Ball is in the pocket, and we'll have a ball up.
A little slow to start in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think now the fact that they have played, now more than 100 minutes of footy, even with the deep benches, I think is really starting to wear on both of these teams. I know you having gone through playing your 2 games earlier.
Right. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's warm and the air is clear, and we'll see how many people end up sunburnt after today.
Yeah, I might. I mean, I thought I did pretty well, and I still might end up a little extra crispy by the end of this. Whistle and another. So we stretch around and look and tell you that it'll be... I don't know what it is. It's going to be a ball up. And ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw-in. As we said, the Iron Maidens played the Seattle Grizzlies once. I want to say it was in 2019, and the Maidens won. And you don't want to hang too much of an asterisk on that game. The Maidens were missing a couple of their key players, but they still had a good, strong team, and Seattle still beat them. That's all that matters. You can't really qualify that.
Right.
Hannah Miller coming steaming in. The ball is marooned in that left forward pocket for the Maidens. Out to the near side. How on earth did that stay in line? In bounds, as that one is up, almost taking the mark. And again, it'll be a free kick. Estrada Finley was back there. She handballs it on. Elise Leone sends that one in to the top of the goal square. It gets knocked through. There's a chance in front. There is Anderson trying to get the ball out. Ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in. And again, now I think this is the biggest thing. The Maidens, their biggest ally now is the clock. The clock is running when the ball goes out of bounds. So the fact that they have the territorial advantage is one thing. The fact that they're up is one thing. But the fact that the time keeps ticking away when this time goes down, when you keep the ball to the sidelines, because the clock keeps running, that's what they need to do, and that's kind of how they're going to end up wearing this game out. That's a strategy.
Use it to your advantage sometimes. Yep.
Ball's up on the far side. And as we talk about the clock, we'll tell you that there is, we are halfway through, 7.5 minutes to go.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Ball goes in the air. Ball goes to ground. There is Fermenton able to get the ball forward. And Hewitt. Doherty was thrown off. Big bump. Blum couldn't pick it up cleanly. Can maybe on her second bite. Now gets that one clear. Down the line. There is, you could see Katie Klatt. She had dreams of skying over the back, but she ran into 4 other players on the way. Now ball comes forward as Doherty is there. Somebody fell down, went boom. And going in is 31 in there, which is unlisted for the Grizzlies. And we'll have I think we'll have a ball up, and then we'll have she comes off the ground there. There is Hunley. Couldn't get the footy, and the ball goes out of bounds. Gretchen Galbraith there, number 33 in her second year of play. Ball comes spinning back in the play, and it went over everybody. And I think we're going to have a redo. Yep. Who is that throwing in the ball, Mac?
It looks like, Quokka.
Yeah, there's Robbie. I was wondering where he was hiding.
It's actually like one of the hardest things to master is throwing the ball in from the boundary, I feel like.
It is.
It's an acquired skill.
It is. It is. And it's hard because you feel as though you lose control of the ball, because when you let go of it, you're doing it with one hand. The whole motion is with one hand.
Right. Because
the other hand is there to guide it. And I feel like a lot of times the ball is 4 feet above my hand when I'm ready to throw it. It levitates. Drops in front. Clean bowls Anderson. And it's going to be a free kick. I didn't see for what, but it will be a free kick to Williams, I believe. She's gonna go down. It was offhand, so they're gonna play on. Filan trying to get out of the way. The umpire. Here's Anderson. Big hit by Blecker. And she is Gone, gone. And Blecker's going to play on quickly. She runs the 50 meters out. This would be a sealer. No, it's going to knock down. It's still loose in front. Who's going to get it? Sechrist is in there for the Grizzlies. And the ball gets knocked free. And it will be a free kick to the Maidens dead in front. And this is Schnitz. Lauren Skonechny from Worcester, Connecticut originally, sends this one on the way. It is dead center perfect.
There's still time. Seattle, pick your heads up.
I said Connecticut. It's Worcester, Massachusetts. By way of the New York Magpies and the Portland Sockeyes, and on the Watch AFL scoreboard with, not a whole lot of time left with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go. It's the Iron Maidens 3-4-22. The Seattle Grizzlies 1-1-7. And, Mac, I think that might have just wrapped things up for the Maidens.
They pulled ahead far enough.
And you have to say as well, at this point, if it ends up like this, I think it's going to completely belie a fantastic effort on this Grizzlies side, but they just don't have an answer, at least in this sense, for what the Maidens have done, even though there were times when they completely outplayed them. Here is Katie Klatt. Klatt is watched by Escalante as that one goes forward and trying to stay with the footy there, and we'll have a ball up. Maidens looking for their 4th consecutive regional championship.
Yeah, if you look at the scoreboard for all the women's games, they were very close.
Yes.
Numbers-wise, so that's exciting to see the competition evening out.
It really was, and we saw good games at Kansas City, but I think this was the skill level between the 3 teams, I think, was pretty well matched, and I think the scoreboard plays that out. Here is Galbraith again and taking down a player off the footy, no call. And then here is Griffin. That's Natalie Griffin. Can she get one back? Yes, she can. Oh, wow. What a goal by Natalie Griffin. They're not dead yet. What a goal. 2-1-13 Seattle. 3-4-22 Golden Gate. 2.5 minutes. 2 goals more. What a kick by Griffin. And you know what, Natalie, I think it's great to see her get on the scoreboard. She, again, played alongside you. She was one of the handful of players that played in 2021 at Nationals, and always a lot of good hustle. And like I said, she has a rugby background. She has that little bit of acceleration and smarts. And there, that was just, she hit that about as sweetly as you could on the run.
You got to know where the goals are at all times, and she did.
She absolutely did. Well, we're not done yet, folks. 2 minutes to go, 22-13. Golden Gate the lead. It is a 9-point game. 2 straight kicks will do it, but the clock is against them, and it is constantly ticking. And it will tick some more as the ball goes up. Hewitt in the ball up here against Hannah Miller. The umpire tosses it to the heavens. Here comes Hewitt, looking like with a renewed bit of vigor. Going to be picked up by Castillo, who gets away from Blum and sends that one forward. It's marked by Latia Holmes, who has to move. She has to find a lead, has to keep the ball moving. She does out to the near side, where she finds a friendly face. This is Blum, who sends this one down the line. It's going to be marked by Rachel Sun. Can they get another one? Sun goes back. She has to go forward and does. Sends this one up high, but marked by Katie Klatt, and that puts an end to that nonsense and probably any little bit of hope with 1 minute to go. What a difference in this team Katie Klatt makes. And we said that when she first joined them in 2019. It completely transmogrifies that defense.
Yeah, we miss Katie. Great to see her still playing, and obviously, with competitors.
Former Sacramento Sun, of course, learned the game with the Suns. That's how she came out and played. Went to Australia, played for Melbourne University in VFLW for several years. There was some talk that she might have an outside crack at AFLW. That didn't pan out, but still, she has done a fantastic job of coming back and really just helping her team. There she is with another interception. She's going to send that one long. The Maidens are going to win another championship, but they had to fight and scratch and claw against 2 very, very good teams on this hot day in Seattle or in Lake Stevens. And here is Estrada Finley with 10 seconds to go. It's a 9-point game, and that will do it. And the Golden Gate Iron Maidens have won their 3rd consecutive regional championship and their 4th straight overall, if you include the summer series. But my goodness, they had to earn it. The final score, the Golden Gate Iron Maidens, 3 goals, 4 behinds, 22 points. The Seattle Grizzlies, 2-1-13. And Mac, as somebody who plays for this women, even you have to beam and applaud the effort from these 2 teams.
Absolutely. It was a great game to watch. A lot of new people are on the field as well, and it's awesome to see that skill level just kind of, bringing it within range for some of the other women's teams, and I like that. I like that.
And here's the thing. We talk about these 2 teams. They're 2 of the most stacked in terms of the personnel. But looking at the contributions from the Orange County women, from the Wasatch women, not just Lizzie and not just but Kaylee Seacrest, who put in a lot of effort in the forward line. And then on the other side, we saw Allison Grunsky have a couple of really great of touches, and of course Schnitz, Lawrence Ganechny kicking the insurance goal at the end. It really speaks well for the women's program from top to bottom, how well the game was played today.
Absolutely, and that was one of the big things, we put on the Women's Association this year, is to make these teams even for this tournament. We wanted to see that happen, and it did.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you, Mackenzie Adamo, for the color. Great as always. We appreciate you. We appreciate Wilson and Declan and everybody at Element 7 for bringing you the pictures. We appreciate Tasmanian for being our major sponsor, for Snohomish County Sports for hosting us, and we appreciate you for listening. For everybody here as part of this tournament to bring you the action today, this is Brian Barrish saying so long for now.